stakes here. Is that the top of that?
Yes, that's correct. They'll be laid flat or perhaps at a slight incline that of course needs to drain, but that entire surface should be covered in photovoltaics.
And you're just tying yourself back into the grid as I know it's going to work.
Yes.
Now, my second question is, I realize that this is a building dedicated to the arts, and it's a museum. Is there a public art component to it? I have to ask that question.
Because there's no public money, there's no public money.
That's all I want.
One question. It would be useful, actually, this is a lovely view of it, but not a view that anyone will ever have. I'd be quite interested to see views from the Parkway, to see actually how the view of the gardens and the building will interact for the passerby. I think that would be quite useful to see. My question is about the drop-off. And I guess I'd like to hear you talk a little bit more about that. It feels quite large to me. It may be that there's no other choice, but I am a little bit. I mean, it seems like quite an enormous amount of space that would enable you to extend those gardens and also create more of that sense of enclosure within gardens that exists in the area. And this really interrupts that. And again, it may be that you had no choice, but I'd be interested to hear.
We work on that. It's certainly been something that I can only say that we'd like to have to be as small as possible. There's no question. This would be stone cobbled surface, I should say. Yes, we would like it to be as small as possible. We thought about where buses drop people off. In fact, that seems like a very, very important element. Not only the kind of private bus that brings students to the facility, but also the more public buses. And so that's what you see here. In a way, this is defined by the turning radius of the bus. We thought about, because the traffic here heads in one direction, we thought about dropping people off, but you'd have to drop people off on the other side of the street and then cross the street. So another possibility was to drive along the Parkway and to drop people off here. But that seemed to be a rather significant interruption of the Parkway. And then, of course, we thought about dropping people off along Pennsylvania Avenue. In each situation, we felt we were sort of snookered by the problem of the bus. And the bus and the public are synonymous, and the taxi is synonymous. So our decision was to have everyone drop off here. Not that we actually earlier connected directly to our parking lot, which we didn't like because we felt that, in fact, that then would, again, destroy the connection between here. So we're dropping people off, re-entering the grid, coming back and parking. So that was our thinking. Yes, I would love to make it smaller.
I have a question on the parking. How does the number of spaces correlate with the number of visitors over time tickets?
We do not, I mean, this is a question that probably should be answered by someone else. I could give you an answer, but it would not be accurate.
Let me address that. We have commissioned a parking and traffic study. That study indicates that based on the visitation counts, timeframes for visitation, that the parking facility has been sized generously to allow for an even flow of parking, even during special events that we manage. So because of the way that we're going to time admission and because of the knowledge base we have as to how many people will be coming, we are very comfortable with the sizing of the facility. We don't want to oversize the parking facility. We don't want to undersize the parking facility. So at this point, this is really sized with best information coming in from our experts.
But an average hour in your peak capacity, visiting hours, how many visitors do you get?
250 approximately. Peak.
There are 80 spaces.
There are presently 80 spaces.
Yes. One other question. Where are the mechanicals? Where's the mechanicals?
Nothing is visible. There are actually, Phil, is a, do we have the enlarged plan? I'm sorry. Yeah, actually this back corner, any of those elements that actually need to be above grade and open to the air are then screened by a wall that will be planted here in actually the northeast corner of the site. Otherwise, there'll be nothing visible and nothing heard. Now, of course, there's a great The screen is a solid screen. I think we have said that it's cast in place concrete, heavily sandblasted and planted with ivy that could be evergreen or deciduous.
From Pennsylvania Avenue, what will I see? I think you said that there's a wall along the
Correct.
parking lot.
Yep.
What will I see from Pennsylvania Avenue? Will I?
Well,
Oh, here we go.
Section. It's just
no,
a section.
from Pennsylvania. Oh, I'm walking along Pennsylvania. Yeah, basically, once again, we're using this as the hedge that will screen the immediate vicinity of the cars which are double parked. Are parked on the other side of the parking. Those are nearly 80 cars that are right here. So as I'm walking along, let's say with the child, I won't see the parking. I will see a landscape.
Well, because also the site slopes from the northeast corner down to the southwest corner. The parking lot itself will be at a lower level than the sidewalk on Pennsylvania Avenue. So between the wall and the hedge, it will be below your.
But not entirely. Let's continue. I'd like to go to the site plan because it's not a perfect situation. This is the highest point of the site, thus that section might have been taken up here, where the difference between the parking and the sidewalk is greatest. However, here, it's quite close. So if in fact I'm walking along the street, I will look in horribly to the parking lot. But then we'll see, again, a wall that's planted, and then I'll have a sense of the canopy of trees beyond. So this area is in fact accessible, and a person could easily walk through there gently at a 1 to 20 incline. So that's a changing condition because the parking lot is more or less flat, but the street in the landscape tips up. So that difference is nearly 2 to 3 feet along the northern edge. Yes, sir.
I have to commend you for your efforts here. If I can borrow a phrase from you, once again designed an exquisite container. And it's really quite remarkable. And it's quite remarkable what you've been able to do with the challenges ahead. Trying to place what is very private and intimate space in a very public space. And there's what I would like to make my comments, because I think that you're masterful at articulating the sequence. But I have some questions about the opportunities missed in terms of relating to the public health. If you can go back to the picture that shows where the fountain is, right there. It is an extraordinary space. It's a tremendous difference. Yet again, just to the north of it, you have Mammoth turning radius-driven port. That is an enormous amount of paving material. I don't care how you do it.
Yeah.
Probably try to cobbles and so forth. And perhaps thinking about a row of trees in the middle, you can drive through it and soften the relationship of what ends up being a very solid